This is the best broccoli crunch salad I've come up with. It's just so addictive, it's amazing. So what I have in it is small pieces of broccoli, small pieces of cauliflower, small pieces of onion, small pieces of cut up black olives, small pieces of red and yellow peppers, whatever peppers, shredded red cabbage, and this is the best cheese there is. It's sweet fire mango jack cheese. I shred this up, and then I cut up my cilantro, and I use walnut oil. So I use walnut oil, red wine vinegar, and the lime of a juice, the juice of one lime. And I'll cut it all up into here, and then I will add, I know this is not low carb, but a handful of dried cranberries. So you get a sweet, hot, spicy flavor, and it is addictive. I will make this bowl and I will eat the whole thing because it's just so addictive, and it's so good for you because it's all the raw vegetables. So I'm going to wash the stuff up now and then start. Okay, I'm going to start by cutting up my broccoli. You cut your broccoli up into very, very, very small pieces. The smaller, the better. Okay, a couple chunks of broccoli here. Tiny, 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 tiny pieces into little florets. And you do that so that they can absorb and get all the flavoring onto them. The smaller the piece, the better the flavoring. Nice little pieces, tiny, tiny pieces. So there's the broccoli cut up into little pieces. I'm going to do the same thing now with the cauliflower. Okay. Okay, there's the cauliflower cut up with the broccoli. Now I'm going to cut up the red onion into very small pieces also. About a half a red onion. That adds nice color to it. In the little pieces. Adds a nice color. Good flavor. Okay, and I'll do the rest of this onion, a half a red onion. Okay, there's the red onion. I don't have any garlic scapes left. I used them all up, so I'm going to use some little pieces of garlic. Probably just a couple. You don't want the too overpowering garlic, but I'm going to put some crushed garlic in here. Maybe if you have big cloves. These are from my own garden, so they're tiny, tiny cloves. And I'll put in here probably about equivalent of maybe 2 cloves of garlic. That's all, not a lot, not to overpower it. Okay, so there's about 2 big tablespoons of crushed garlic, or crush your own. Now I'm going to cut up probably a half a can of medium pitted olives. You can use other olives if you like, but don't use green ones. Black olives. Now I'm going to add some peppers. I'm going to use a red pepper and an orange pepper, and probably a yellow pepper too to add some pretty color. 3 small peppers. I pitted them, cut the seeds out of them, and cut them into little pieces. So the yellow ones, the orange one, and the red one. Lovely colors. The more colors, the prettier it is. So then you have the yellow, and I'll do the whole thing of the orange and red. Okay, the peppers are cut up now. The next thing I'm going to do is cut up some red cabbage. This is all the red cabbage I have left, so I'm going to use the rest of it. I'm going to shred it up really fine. You can do it on a cutting board, or you can do it in your hands. I'm going to try to do it as slice as thin as I can, little pieces of red cabbage, as thin as I can. You don't want this big chunk either. You don't want him. You just want the nice purpley fine stuff. Okay, now we've got the red cabbage added on top. Now we're going to mix it up here and just see what it looks like for the moment. Very pretty. Okay, see that pretty? Okay. Next I'm going to grate up 1.5 packages of my Sweet Fire Mango Jack cheese. I'm going to shred it up. Almost done. Fine. So I'm going to take a bunch of cilantro. A bunch of cilantro. Not the whole thing here, but probably half this much. I like cilantro in this. So about that much cilantro. So that is my hand. So that's probably, if you chop it up, it's probably a half a cup of chopped up cilantro. I'll chop it and see what I got. I've washed the cilantro and I'm going to cut it off right about here. I'll throw that away, of course. And the rest of this I'm going to start chopping up fine. Get my big knife in a minute. I'll cut it first a little bit of the ways. Yeah, the stems are okay in there. I'll get my big knife. You might want to use a few more of the leaves if you want. Depends on how cilantro-y you like it. I'll use those too also. Okay, now I'll get my big knife. Because this is a wet herb, it's hard to do anything by hand with this. So you take your chopping knife like this, put your hand on top of it, can't hurt it. Just go up and down. That's probably a half a cup. I would say a half a cup. So I'm going to throw that in here now. Throw that in here. Half a cup of cilantro. If you want more, add more. I'm going to see what it tastes like first. I might not need it. I might not. I might want it. So there's the cilantro in there. Okay. Next, cilantro is let's see. Now comes the tough part of measuring. I don't measure this, but I'm going to try it today. Let's start with a half a cup. What do we say? Half a cup. Let's go with a half a cup, and let's open our walnut oil. Come on. There we go. Okay. Walnut oil. Geez, they put enough things on here to stop it from. Okay. Let's see how much walnut oil. Okay. Probably about that much walnut. Okay. Red wine vinegar. I would say 1/4 of a cup. A 1/4 of a cup of red wine vinegar. Okay? We take a lime, and this is the easiest way to get juice out of a lime. That's a dull knife, you're getting dull. Okay? Cut the ends off the lime. Now you could probably use lime juice in a squirt bottle, but I like fresh lime. It tastes totally different, I think. Okay. Now my little garlic press, I use my garlic press, and I cut my limes into little pieces. Man, that is a dull knife. I'll take my bowl of my stuff, and I'm going to put the lime in the garlic press and push down and get all the juice. Whew. Fresh lime juice. Okay. My pan, that's it. Okay. Now, what we have here is almost finished. Okay? Now we're going to take our craisins, dried cranberries. Now if you're on a low carb, no sugar, do not add these. Add extra cheese if you want. But this gives a wonderful sweet flavor. So I'm going to add a handful of those, which is probably about, a half a cup. And now I mix it all up. Okay. In about a couple hours, stir it again, and all that flavoring will join in together and mix in, and that is absolute delicious, delicious, healthy, oh, delightful vegetable crunch salad. Delicious. I could use some other sugar in there, but I'm not going to put it. Oh, it's delicious. Hot, spicy, got a little sweet thing. There's a cranberry. Delicious. There it is. Addictive.